Volkswagen is bringing their new updated Kia EV6 to the United States, confirming the pricing for the new model. Kia EV6, it's basically the sister car to the Hyundai Ioniq 5, which is enormously popular in America. Is it worth buying one? Is it worth considering looking at a new Kia EV6? Well, maybe. Here's my personal opinion, and here are the details, the prices for the Kia EV6. Hello, my friends. Welcome to the channel. Great to have you with us. I'm Sam Evans. You're watching the Electric Viking. Kia EV6, the new version. What's different about it? Well, it's got a redesigned exterior, enhanced battery options, more range. Actually, the batteries are a bit bigger. And there is a switch to the North American charging standard. In other words, it has a Tesla plug. You can plug straight into a Tesla supercharger. Most versions see a modest price increase, and the high-performance GT variant gets a big price increase. The entry-level Kia EV6 Lite now starts at $42,900 US, which is a $300 increase in America over the previous year's base model. When factoring in the destination fees, the total cost rises by $380 to now a starting price of $44,375. Other trims in the lineup get slight price changes too. The light long range increasing in price by $250 before destination charges. The performance EV6 GT, which is a proper performance car, very similar to a Tesla Model 3 performance, gets the most substantial price increase. Its price goes up by $2,200 US. Now, I'm curious to know how this vehicle will be affected by Donald Trump's 25% tariffs. I'm guessing Kia is just absorbing all that 25% tariff. That's a lot of money for Kia to be absorbing. I'm quite surprised to see the prices barely moved. So what are the changes? Well, the most obvious one is it looks better, and I really think it does. The restyled front end featuring what Kia calls star map lighting. This design is meant to give the car a wider and more dynamic appearance, and I think it actually does do that. The front bumper is now more angular, and the hood has been slightly revised. At the rear, the EV6 gets new three-dimensional taillights and updated body cladding. Buyers can also choose from newly designed wheels ranging from 19 to 21 inches in size. Now, obviously, the bigger the wheels, the less range you're going to get, and the less comfortable your car will be. So if you can handle the looks of the 19-inch wheels, that's what I would be getting. Inside, the changes are less noticeable. There's a new steering wheel, which I think looks nice, an updated center console. The dashboard now features dual 12.3-inch screens. I'm not a fan of those 12-inch screens, as I've said many times. I think it's hard to navigate on a map. You don't see much of the map. I think it's better to have a horizontal screen or a bigger single screen. Anyhow, standard features on all models include heated front seats and a combination of fabric and synthetic leather upholstery. The base model comes equipped with 10-way power adjustable driver's seat, dual zone automatic climate control, and a wireless phone charger. A comprehensive suite of driver assistance systems is also standard, including smart cruise control with stop and go, highway driving assist, blind spot collision avoidance, and forward collision avoidance as well. Now, still the question is, should you buy one of these cars, electric cars? And I would say if you're not in America, my personal opinion is absolutely not. Now, don't take this personally if you bought one of them. They're good cars, don't get me wrong. But it's still a question I think, I get asked these questions all the time, and people want to get an answer, definitive answer from someone who obviously has tested a lot of these cars and looks at the specs and is obsessed with them, obsessed with electric cars. And I think outside of America, these are just not good enough value. They're not compelling enough considering there are so many other options. But inside of America, it's different. You guys don't have as many choices in the United States because of, you banned Chinese cars, pretty much banned them. So in the US, I think it's a more compelling option. Now, what about the batteries? Battery pack sizes, the base model is a 63 kilowatt hour battery, and there is also an 84 kilowatt hour battery in the long range version. That means the battery size is a bit bigger for both models. Previously, the standard range was a 58 kilowatt hour battery. It's gone to 63. And previously, their long range was a 77. It's now gone to 84, meaning the battery size is about 10% bigger for both models. This change means it gets more range. Estimated range is now between 372 kilometers for the base model and 513 kilometers for the long range model, depending on the configuration. Now, that's in North America. So EPA range, probably about 310 miles for the long range version and approximately 250 miles for the standard range version. It's not as efficient, for example, as a Tesla Model Y. That's one of the reasons why it gets less range. EV6 buyers might like, I think they probably will like the fact you can use Tesla Supercharger Network, which is definitely the best, easiest to use, and that's a really good feature that Kia and Tesla have worked on together, which has enabled Kia drivers to use the best superchargers in America. Power. The entry-level EV6 Lite comes with a rear-mounted electric motor, producing a pretty anemic, to be honest, 125 kilowatt, that's 167 horsepower, and 350 newton meters of torque. Considering this is not a light car, it weighs more than 2 tons, so about 4.5, it's about 4,500 pounds. I think it's a bit underpowered for the base model. The light, long range, wind, and GT line trims do have a lot more power though. So that's just the base model. Only the base model gets that motor. I personally wouldn't be buying the base model for that reason. I think it's underpowered. But if you go to the next spec, the light, long range, wind, and GT line, you're going to get 168 kilowatt, which is 225 horsepower, which is acceptable. The all-wheel drive option gives you 239 kilowatt, that's 320 horsepower, but the GT, so the EV6 GT delivers 448 kilowatt, that's 601 horsepower, and 740 newton meters of torque, meaning it can do 0 to 100 or 0 to 62 miles an hour in about 3.5 seconds. That's fast. Yeah, I mean, that's really fast. Top speed is 260 kilometers an hour. That would be a great daily driver. I mean, that would be a car that you could take to a track day potentially on the weekend, have a lot of fun in. But they're not, they're obviously not cheap at all. Now, as I said, the base model, it's around $45,000 US, but it's not really competitive at all with the base model, Tesla Model Y. So if you're considering, say, comparing those two cars, I don't think that this is an option at all. I mean, the base Model Y is a far superior car for only about $4,000 more, but it's not $4,000 more because it still qualifies for EV incentives, meaning it's actually cheaper than this. On that, in terms of that, it's really not a comparable car in terms of price. Now, if you are one of those people who just won't buy a Tesla because of the current situation, I understand that. So therefore, I think it would be a decent option. But other options include the Hyundai Ioniq 5. Of course, you've got the Chevy Blazer, which I think it's a bit bigger car than this and has a bit more range. Might be a better option potentially. Yeah, there's quite a few different models in this segment now. Obviously, the Ford Mustang Mach-E, various cars. Hyundai Ioniq 5 might be the better pick out of these two because of the fact that it has bigger boot space and it's got a slightly bigger interior. I think that's probably a better choice than the Kia EV6. Still a really nice car though. I mean, if you want something different, and this is certainly different, this might be the way to go. Let me know your thoughts, guys. Thanks for watching.